bayonets. This being a World War I model, you don't have it yet, but
it has the standard knife bayonet. It didn't come with it. I plan on buying one soon. But it's about 17 inches long, metal 1917. Believe it is, I'm not too much of an expert on the bayonets or anything.
Right. I have mine. It's probably one of the better World War II bayonets, even though it's kind of unwieldy. It's 15.5 inch long blade knife bayonet with the quilling, which is the early model, called Type 38 bayonet. So it's pretty cool, gives it a nice freaky Asian look, you could say.
Or scary Japanese look.
Yeah. The only other World War II countries to have bayonets this long, I believe, were the Soviets, but then those were the spike bayonets, which...
yeah. Well, and the British used the SMLEs, or the Commonwealth troops more often. So.
Yeah, so those are just pointed at the end and arguable. Well, it depends on your opinion, but I personally liked knife bayonets much more.
So the theory behind the spike is that it's pointy, it would penetrate clothing a little better. It was a little easier to fight with. I think in the end they figured out that shorter knife bayonets were the best, because that's what most people retain these days. But,
yeah, this is kind of useful for can opening,
other use.
Alright. Should we use that in a different video, or just this one? Alright.
This is my Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I, which has a spike bayonet, which we were talking about earlier. It's basically the same type of thing as the No. 1 that I showed, but they made some modifications to it, like they made the barrel protrude out instead of having the wood come almost all the way up to the front and having it kind of like a stub nose type thing.
Like
that.
This?
Yeah. And they made some things more simpler. They gave it aperture sights, kind of like his Type 99.
Peep sights.
Yeah, aperture peep sight. 300, 600 yards. This one has a simple war sight, so lots of them have ones that flipped up. Micrometer sights. This one was made in 1943 during the middle of the war, and they were trying to save money and time, make the rifles faster, but there's not too much of a difference. They also put a free-floating barrel in this one to make it more accurate. But anyway, that's a spike bayonet. The idea of this was to thrust instead of, I guess, hacking. And it's smaller, so it's easier to wield, not so heavy. So you just jab it into the person, and then put it on. You just line it up, locks into place. And by itself, it's not very formidable, but when it's on the rifle, it's a lot better. You just take it like that. It's a pretty good jabbing weapon.
It's for comparison, yeah. Mine's a lot longer, but like I said, it's kind of unwieldy, so...
With the bayonet, this is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And this one's not so bad. So, I mean, I think what they did in the modern day is they made a compromise between the two. They took the knife bayonet but made it smaller. So
it's about this length, but it's still a knife bayonet.
Yeah.
The Germans, Americans, and to a degree the Italians had that model, but that's about it.
Yeah, they made a spike bayonet later on for this because the soldiers didn't like it as much because you can't open your meat and stuff.
The rifles themselves are about the same length without the bayonets. Let's see. Some of the differences between the sights that we can talk about. Maybe you should line up with the No. 1, the V sights. Do you have it lined up there, kind of? Yeah.
There's the aperture sights.
With his the peep sights in the back, and it's narrow here. With mine, like you've seen, the rear sight is further up, but then the knob here is a lot thicker, so if you kind of combine that, I would think that would be more effective, but they're both good sights.
Yep. And those are the principal similarities, differences of the Lee Enfield and the Type 99.
Yeah. One last thing, with the foregrip, if you can make it out, this has the groove thing, which is fairly common. It's not necessary, doesn't do a great deal. He just has these grooves here, so yeah.
Anyway, that's similarities and differences between the two.